yet again, that was a clip from Gravity, the new Sandra Bullock sci-fi thriller.
Directed by Alfonso Cuarón.
This is Curtis, and this is Movies the Podcast.
And this is Jordan, and I'm glad that we were not in charge of Russian art because we'd still be there making them. We're not one take kind of people, apparently.
And this is Rob.
This is Brenda.
And this is Failure.
Appropriately named. I'm just joking.
So we wanted to catch up a bit. We've seen a lot of movies in the last few weeks, and a lot of good ones, a lot of bad ones, but our catch-up's normally so small, so we thought we would just kind of talk about what we've seen. We've talked a lot about Gravity before, so we'll catch up with that. Brenda just saw a movie that I really want to see.
Oh, blue is the warmest color.
Tell us the background.
I want to see this.
Well, it's based on a graphic novel, which I'm dying to go pick up.
That's right.
But apparently that it happens with books, but there is a lot of, well, not a lot, but there's a few differences. Some major, some minor. Overall, I really liked it. What's it called? It's 3 hours and 7 minutes, so it's a long haul, but it doesn't feel that way. I probably wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't drunk so much water beforehand and had to go to the bathroom. I will preface this: if lesbian sex scenes make you uncomfortable, you might want to skip it.
Or if you like them, you should skip it because they're kind of long.
If you like them, why would you skip
That's
it?
the problem with lesbian porn is it goes on fucking ever.
Yeah,
It's
And there's a U-Haul always in the background.
It's like the cloud atlas of porn.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, the first, there's 3 scenes between the 2 main actresses, and the first one's like 10-15 minutes.
Are they not teenagers, though?
One is, right?
Well, one,
Adele?
yeah, I think she's like the main actress who, I think this is a breakthrough for her. She did an awesome job. I think she's about to turn 20, so she must have been 18, I'm assuming, when she filmed it.
I think legally, probably. It's weird. The French title is called The
Life of Adele. Translated as Life of Adele, which I can understand because even though it is about the relationship, it focuses more on Adele, on her character. But the what's it called? The English title of the graphic novel was Blue is the Warmest Color, which is where that title came from.
I really want to see it. I almost feel like it's my duty, like Rob was saying, I feel like it's my duty to see it. It's a gay French art film rated NC-17. I feel like I should support all of those.
It's like they made it for you. Except there's no dick.
I'm sorry.
There
Curtis?
is.
Well, you don't see it, but there is
I see it.
Then it doesn't count.
It's a small hetero sex scene at the beginning, towards the beginning.
That isn't what I said at all. It's not my duty at all. I don't have to see that movie.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted to see it.
I want to see it because if I don't see it in theaters, which will force me to pay attention, I will just play with my phone the whole time.
Yeah,
I just like to say duty.
I also have to mention I saw this in the middle of the afternoon, so it was just me and a bunch of like waspy retirees, which was great.
Did you see it at River Oaks?
No, I saw it downtown Houston at Sundance Cinema.
Who's playing it exclusively?
Oh, okay.
I saw.
Because I usually end up at the Blue Hair Matinee at the River Oaks.
Just funny because
Which they don't even turn the lights down all the way so that people can find their way to the
Oh,
bathroom.
that's good.
And they talk the whole fucking time.
They tried to pull
Blue
that shit with Blue
Jasmine.
Jasmine. I was not having it.
Blue Jasmine, they talk to the screen.
Was that where you told those people to shut up?
Bernie?
Yeah.
They
Blue
loved
Jasmine.
Bernie.
And
Bernie,
Blue
they were
Jasmine.
yelling at each other and laughing. And I felt like I was in a bingo hall.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that because Blue is the Warmest Color. The guy in the row in front of me kept getting up to go, look at something on his phone, and he had to be like 70. He kept getting up like with the screen all lit up and going down to make a call or a text and then coming back up.
Washington.
Who were your master?
Master named Freeman.
Was he a learned man?
I suppose so.
He learned you to read?
A word here or there. But I've no understanding of the written text.
Don't trouble yourself with it. Same as the rest, Master brought you here to work, that's all. Any more, I'll earn you 100 lashes.
Let me tell you a movie that you couldn't leave your seat. We went to see 12 Years a Slave at River Oaks. You would not... I told Rob before we went to see it, I was like, I've seen some rough movies.
Yeah, you dated someone that watched a lot of
Like-
black exploitation films.
Yeah, like from the 70s and so. I'm like, I've seen it all. You have not seen it all. And it's not that it's violent or grotesque or exploitative would probably be the word.
Mm-hmm.
It's real, and it feels so... God, he shoots so many one-shots. There's this...
You don't even... Oh, yeah.
Rob pointed it out to me, and there's a scene, I guess it's not really giving it away, but to say that someone's being whipped, but that camera goes around. They're having to do it in one shot, and in that immediacy of it, without cutting, it's so
But
real.
what was interesting is we walked out of that theater, and there was so much press that came out of the Toronto premiere of that film that it was just like, it's locked, Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director. And we watched it, and we felt, and I was telling Jordan one night when we were messaging very late at night, that...
I do that too.
There was a lot of detail.
I'm just trying to get you in trouble, Bert.
We just had a lot of expectations.
No, the way the feedback was coming out of Toronto was implying that this film... Oh, you just want some of my wine.
I don't care what...
The feedback was just like, this is an epic film, this was an amazing film, but when you watch it, it's so personal. And for me, one of the things that I told Curtis is that I respect it even more when you have all these famous actors in the film, Paul Giamatti, Brad Pitt, Michael Fassbender, but they're used in such a way that you believe, in that short period that they're on screen, you believe their characters. You buy into who they're playing.
Who is the director?
Steve McQueen.
Who I don't like anything else he's really done.
Really?
Neither have I.
I loved Hunger. I mean, Shane wasn't the greatest except
So
for
he's
Michael.
50-50 for you.
You just can't
I
say.
liked Shane, but I mean, I know
I
mostly
liked
probably
parts of
Michael
Shane.
Fassbender's.
I liked the YouTube 7-minute version of Shane.
You like parts of Michael Fassbender.
I do.
The director's just very, and I think Rob and I are kind of looking at each other in the middle of the movie because it was just kind of like, it's so teeny small little things happen, and that's the big. It's not like, and this is the only way I can explain it to people who are going to see it. It's not like Amistad, he's like, I want freedom.
Nobody has big scenes in this
There's
film.
no big. It's just a man trying to make it.
It's very subtle.
It's subtle so that sometimes when things happen, it's overwhelming. There's a line at the end of the movie, which I won't give away, but we were talking about it afterwards and it started making me tear up again.
Wow.
It was that affecting. But Best Picture of the Year, no. Best Supporting Actor, yes.
Does
Best
it deserve
yes.
the recognition?
Yes.
Completely. But
It's not the best movie ever made.
But here's the thing. I think upon our second viewing, once our expectation was brought down to... Once we see it again, I know we're going to see it again. Once our expectations are brought down to where we are buying into more the subtleties of the way these camera shots were done, the way it was written, I think me personally would be able to say, yes, it could potentially have Best Picture quality in it. Because there's some of the shots that you feel are throwaway, but when you pay attention to them, knowing that this director has this track record, why make this film, the score and the way it plays its part, it's interesting. It's really,
and I will say the acting is phenomenal. And it was funny. Chris. I've had empathy for everybody really, except Michael Fassbender. But I even had empathy for his wife, and his wife was an awful person, but I understood what she was going through because it's like her husband's cheating on her with one of the slaves, and so people don't understand that your husband's cheating on you. What do you do to the woman who your husband's sleeping with? You are mean to her. And so it's like it's a hard thing to conceptualize in that movie, but those actors are Sarah Paulson plays the wife, and
She's awesome.
I didn't realize how awesome she was. I mean, she's good in American Horror Story in season 2, but she just plays Benedict Cumberbatch is in it.
Yeah.
Cumberbatch. Sherlock fans just turned us off.
Cumberbatch. So he had a small part. Brad Pitt was fantastic in his small part.
Giamatti, I think that was, for me, it was just like watching him in this role, and you're just like, it's a small part.
He had one scene, yeah.
And it was fantastic. I hopefully we didn't spoil anything for not just our listeners, but for you guys. You're going to walk in, and hopefully the expectation that this is going to be an intimate film that you're going to watch, and hopefully you feel, no matter who you are, you're going to feel such a connection to these people.
No,
Good to his main character. I hope you don't feel a connection to Michael Fassbender.
Well, I know what you mean by expectations, but
Unless you're Jordan.
Blue is the warmest color. It got such a big reaction out of Cannes. But I think a lot of the expectation, and it's a great love story, but I appreciated it because there was a focus much more so on the character of Adele, the younger actress, and her kind of just starting off young, and this is maybe like her first love, and kind of coming out and experiencing homophobia, with her friends, and just just from just the focus on her, I think is what makes it so great.
Let me tell you about something that did have big expectations and floundered every opportunity it had. I saw The Counselor, which is written by Cormac McCarthy, directed by Ridley Scott. It's Michael Fassbender, Javier Bardem, Penelope Cruz.
Dream team.
Cameron Diaz. Who was the last?
Brad Pitt.
Rosie Perez is in it. She has a couple of scenes. Ruined in every place it could have ruined this film, they ruined it.
May I say of how much, one of the reasons why I love you so much? I love that after the film, he watched it. He came to my theater to watch it. He walked out. He wasn't disappointed. He wasn't excited about the film, but then the next time I see him, he went out and bought the screenplay to read, because they put it. It wasn't the final script. It was the shooting script. So it was what was meant to be shot. So he's like, I need answers. I need to find out what happened here.
Do you know? And I have to say, because I read the script. I didn't hate it. It's one of those movies you look at and you're like, you could have been great. You could have been great. And
it had the pedigree.
Could have been a contender.
It could have been. And what pisses me off is when you read the script, and I can only assume that the Cameron Diaz character was fantastically written, like bang up written. But Angelina Jolie took the part, but turned it down, which now come to find out was because she was doing her boob surgery. But she would have killed that part. Killed it. They cut so many of Cameron Diaz's scenes out of the movie. I don't know if they filmed them. But her part is so much better in the script. It's layered, and she's not a villain, and she's complicated. And Cameron Diaz in the part, and I can't do her acting because it's all facial, but it's like she'll say a line, like a flirty line, then a mean line, and look at you, and that's it. And I'm like,
that translated. Don't worry.
Yeah, if you watch a clip of the movie, it's like I can't remember one. She's like,
I'm your friend, am I?
Yeah, or she'll say something like, fuck. There's a scene where she's like stroking Penelope Cruz, and she's like, do you ever tell the priest anything wild? And then Penelope Cruz is like really freaked out, and she's like, I'm just messing with you. I'm just rattling your cage.
Does the priest ever ask you about sex? He doesn't ask, but you're supposed to tell him everything. And suppose you've done something like really nasty. He doesn't press you for the details.
And she's like, what? And she's like, what a world.
It's like a Saturday Night Live character.
But it's not.
Kristen Wiig should have played the role.
You know what's funny? It's not camp. It's not so bad that
it's not meant to be.
No,
It's
I mean even
accidental camp.
No, it's not even camp. It's that's what's so frustrating about this movie is like there are these scenes. I mean Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem and all the actors they'll go unscathed from this film, but No Country for Old Men had a sense of humor about it and a sense of creativity, and I don't think Ridley Scott has that.
But that's one of the trickiest parts about the film. I haven't seen it yet, but the feedback and the kind of the
I'm sure it's blowing box office records.
No, at
No,
all.
it's
It is
being
tanking.
Completely
It's just
panned.
blowing.
But the fallout is that you have pedigree. You can't dismiss Ridley Scott as director. You just can't.
No.
But you didn't. Curtis made a good point saying Ridley Scott doesn't have a style that you can identify and say that's a Ridley Scott film.
Like the Coens, or like that movie needed a voice. Cormac McCarthy's voice is so strong. You needed
Who should have
strong.
directed it instead? Like,
God,
who
I would
do you
have died for the Coens to direct it. I would have died for somebody who could do like a western, like John Sayles, or somebody who knew about.
Or what's his name?
grittiness.
Hillcott.
Who directed The Road?
Hillcott.
Oh, God.
Hillcott, yeah, whatever. Somebody who understood the seediness of it. I didn't think Ridley Scott gave it anything extra. And like I said, poor girl, but it was fatal casting her in that part, Cameron Diaz. Like fatal, to kill the film.
It seemed really forced, just even from the trailer.
Watch a clip and it's like you should be careful what you wish for.
Have you ever enjoyed a Cameron Diaz
Yes,
performance?
and I will say, being John Malkovich, Vanilla Sky,
Bad Teacher.
I think
she
she's-
was fantastic in Bad Teacher.
I think she can do good
Yeah.
work, but
I liked
think
her in The Box, and nobody else liked The Box. But I liked her.
That seemed like an
performance in
acquired taste of a film. It wasn't for me, but
liked her
I
Clubfoot.
I really liked her in that, and I remember thinking like I really wish she would do more dramatic stuff.
I think she can. I definitely think there's a hardness to her that could have played in that part, but every single scene she would be in, I would just think like, God, Jolie would know how to play this. She would know how to play sexy, dangerous, strong, and vulnerable. But they cut all the vulnerability out because I think Cameron Diaz can't play that. And I hate to blame her, but the script is fantastic. Anybody would do that part. It's just sad they chose her.
Well, I on the opposite end of that with I watched Len Weissman. Is that his name?
Yeah, Len Wiseman.
Les Weissman.
Oh, he is fine.
That's why Kate Beckinsale got
Really?
all up in that.
I guess I looked at the wrong IMDb photo. He does not look very.
I'll get it for you.
But I watched the remake of Total Recall and loved it.
You might want to give your little girlfriend a kiss goodbye. As long as she doesn't mind where those lips have been.
Did you like
It was okay.
Are you a fan of the original?
The original movie? I've never read the original short story, but the original movie, it was okay. It's fun for what it is. I know a lot of people love that movie, and it was very ahead of its time, but the remake, for me, a lot of the reviews were citing that it was an unnecessary remake. I could care less. The action was structured in such a great way. I had so much fun with that film. Did the plot make complete sense? No.
I mean, it was fun. I mean, I like watching it, but and not just because I'm a purist, because I wasn't totally in love with the original Total Recall. I just take it for what it is. It's like Arnold being super Arnold in that movie. Like if somebody else had taken that role, I don't think the original Total Recall would be such a hit or such a
I did it.
classic. Like if,
Yep.
Everybody.
Well, I mean, you look at films like Carrie or Total
Speaking
Recall.
of unnecessary remakes,
But
and we will
the
get
point
to
that
it.
the
that.
point I
We will
wanted to
get
make
to
is
it.
that the originals hold their own, but some hold their own better than others. You look at Carrie, that the remake was good on its own, but it's so hard to separate it from the original.
I don't think it was good on its
But
own.
Total Recall, for me, I think what I walked away the most from it is that the action was staged so well and it was so clever on how the pieces were done that it didn't seem repetitive at all. You look at action movies like, I want to say Michael Bay. I know he's like the grandfather of action movies.
He's like the person we always shut on with action movies. When you're trying to make a bad action movie comment.
But no, he does make good action movies. Con Air being one of them. No, that's not Con. That's not his.
That's not my
Yeah,
favorite.
it is.
Is
My-
it?
No,
Yes.
that's not his.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody look that up. I don't think
It
that's...
feels like Michael Bay.
I don't know if we touched on this on the remakes episode, but I think a lot of the times that I'm not too crazy about remakes is that they kind of miss the point of the original and they try to make it too glossy. Like, look at the two women in the original Total Recall and the two women in this one.
But you can't say Sharon Stone back then wasn't like glamour puss.
Yeah, but Rachel Ticotin as the
and with all due respect, that is your purism coming out, because this film didn't need that. This film worked completely on Kate Beckinsale being such a foxy villain in this film, and she just brought it. She is amazing in it. Jessica Biel, whatever, I can care.
You're right, Simon West.
Yeah, I didn't think it was
Dumb bitch.
Exactly.
Well, no, and I think, not to get off Total Recall because I haven't seen it, so therefore I can't speak about it, and we know I like to hear my voice.
It's been too long since you've said anything.
Thank you. No, and we all saw Carrie together, and
except for me.
okay, so I didn't see it with Rob. I mean, I saw it with Rob. He's the only person I know. Anyways, but I did, while we were watching it and when we were done, I think my first reaction was, if I had never seen the original, ever, I would have been like, that was pretty good. It wasn't scary, but it was creepy. I thought that Julianne Moore was good. I liked the teacher. But I have seen the original, and I can't not compare it, only because they dipped their pen in the original as well, constantly.
He's not coming. It's a trick.
You see, Mama? You see, it's all gonna be okay.
Oh, repent. It's not too late.
Mama, don't ruin this for me. I'll be home early.
I'm gonna have to tell that boy the truth. That your father took me and you were born
You'll
of
say
sin.
nothing, Mom.
And from that sin...
They weren't like, no, distance ourselves. They were like, no, we're using the same stuff.
No, they embraced the original, and I give Kimberly Pierce, like, I think my fault is that I keep giving her the benefit of the doubt that this is a director that I've trusted her work, and I think, why would you pick this material to make your third film? I hate to say that, but it probably was. Mm-hmm. But as its own standalone, it didn't bother me. Is it better than the original? Not one bit. The original is so much better of a film.
And I saw it in, I saw it with my boyfriend in Wichita. And we both hated it from start to finish. But we're both real big fans of the original.
But I think
And
you were
it was
already biased against it.
It was
immediately.
hard for me to separate.
It was very hard.
And I spent the entire movie like redirecting it, recasting it. I hated Julianne Moore. Hated
I didn't hate her.
I didn't love her, but
It wasn't
I
her
didn't-
best moment.
We recast it. We would have wanted Kate Blanchett to play that role. Someone who can do strong and vulnerable, because Julianne Moore's way too intense.
What about
for-
Chastain?
As Carrie. Yeah.
As Carrie, yeah. I do have to
I'll
say
play Carrie.
that Chloe Grace Moretz did a really great job.
Okay, so I
And
completely disagree with that.
I agree with this. I disagree with that.
I feel she brought a
Nothing.
different thing to that role than Sissy Spacek
And
did.
Julianne Moore was bringing a lot of
There was-
Piper Laurie.
She was doing a
There was
Piper Laurie impression.
A subtle Piper Laurie impression.
It was
Chloe brought moments that were better, but overall, no.
I'm not saying she was better than Sissy Spacek.
Nobody
but
is.
I feel like she did an okay job. I feel like the movie kept slipping back
To
into
me, the supporting cast was
teen-
stronger.
I can't believe that.
That's true because I like Judy Greer.
I did too.
I
I
thought
like
she
the best.
did a great
I like
job.
the boy that brings her to the prom. I thought
Yeah.
he was charismatic. He was a sweet boy. I bought into him.
I bought into Tommy.
And what's
The
the
original.
chick, the villain girl?
Oh, she was
What's
fantastic.
her name is ridiculous.
The blonde?
The actress's name.
Oh, the brunette? I
Yeah.
liked her.
No, she's amazing, but
Yeah.
her name is ridiculous. Her real
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
You know, there's a website where you can put in your name and it creates a similar name to him.
Oh God,
It's
Curtis
fantastic.
Chastain Batch.
name. People on the internet have.
But no,
way
I
too much time.
I totally see what
Yes.
you're saying. It was a hard thing to do, especially because they were referencing it so much. And you know me, I remake whatever.
And there are some movies that are so iconic that they really shouldn't be in the hand. The remake should not be in the hands of just any director.
But Kimberly
And
Pierce is such an original. We can't say that anymore. She made one really good movie.
Yeah.
In 20 years. So
Stop Loss was okay, but nothing.
we can't keep saying that she's that good. I mean, she's not.
And I feel like it was a big project for someone who. Has
I like
not
how you looked
directed
at
a
me
lot of
when you
movies.
said that.
She's not. Well, no, it's only $30 million picture.
Is it really? It
Just had a big publicity budget. But yeah, it did not fail, but it was not a great success.
She's redoing The Shining, so I'm just kidding.
Getting back to Total Recall, I highly recommend. If you want just a nice, mindless, fun action film, it's fun.
And Connor isn't on Showtime.
Well, another on the opposite spectrum, another love story I saw besides Blue is the Warmest Color is About Time. It's the same director as Love Actually.
Curtis Hanson?
No.
Richard Curtis.
Richard Curtis. Curtis Hanson's
Chastain.
I don't know.
Didn't
He
he make
did
8
LA
Mile?
Confidential.
Yeah, that's
made
8 Mile.
Rachel McAdams doesn't have enough business sense to do a movie. with
movie
him.
free
It's a
association.
super cute movie, and it has that little, I guess, sci-fi touch to it with the time travel. But there's a lot of plot holes if you're.
And Bill Nye is in it, and I love him.
I love Bill Nye.
He's also in Total Recall.
Yeah, the cast is super
I love
adorable,
him.
but Rachel McAdams, I feel like she's almost like she's a cute actress. And
Are you saying Rachel McAdams is a one-note actress?
No. I'm just saying
no, you
about
should.
her.
I
You
am.
should.
Yeah.
I'm saying about her part. It's just like it's almost like it could have been any cute actress because she's not utilized that.
Do you
much.
remember when she took years off because she didn't like the part she was getting, and she comes back and she just does all this crap?
Because her
true.
mortgage is due.
She lives in Canada. She got free healthcare.
What, Morning Glory brought her back?
You slept with Ryan Gosling. What else you got to do with your life?
That's all I'm doing with my life.
Okay, once I do that. No, I can't watch anything else with her.
She doesn't bother me.
Passion.
Oh, well, the main
should-
actor. I don't know if you noticed.
You should
he's,
watch Red Eye with me again.
I did like Red
Brendan Gleeson, I believe, his
His
son,
son?
and he was also he had a remember he had a parallel story in Anna Karenina.
That's him.
That's him.
Oh,
He played one of the Weasleys in the Harry
Yeah,
Potter
I
film.
think the eldest, but
Yeah.
like only one of the films. Big nerd.
He was in 2 of the films. Calm down.
Yeah, super.
He's British, and by national law in Britain,
You have to
to
be.
have been in Harry Potter.
or Gosford Park.
Or- There's a lot of people.
He's Irish, actually.
Well, then he doesn't.
UK.
Whatever.
Yeah, UK.
Close enough.
Alan Rickman.
It's like, I don't live in Houston. I live in Katy. It's fucking
It's
Houston.
Houston.
Whatever.
This I'm gonna guess is gonna be a contentious conversation. Rob saw a movie, Cloud Atlas, and told me to watch it, but he gave me some rules, which was good. I think he told me you have to watch the whole thing in one sitting, because I will watch movies in it. If it's 3 hours, I'll watch it now.
He watched Barry Lyndon that way. He watched it over the course of like a week.
Watched what?
Barry Lyndon.
Barry
I watched
Lyndon.
it in half-an-hour increments. Rob's like, that's not going to work. And I was like, I didn't like it.
No, I recorded it. Now that Dane got Uverse.
Did it take up the entire of your DVR? That is the longest fucking
Have we all
movie
seen
ever
it?
made.
Cloud
I've
Atlas,
seen it,
yeah.
yes.
But I recorded. I just went through. And I was like, oh, I haven't seen that. I sat there. I was hungover. I watched it. I could not stop watching it. And at one point, my boyfriend puts on his iPad. He's like, oh, what's going on? I was like, fuck if I know what's going on. But
I can't explain it, but I knew when I opened that door.
A powerful deja vu ran through my bones. I heard it in a dream. I was in a nightmarish cafe, and the waitresses, they all had the same face.
the more you watch, and so you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
You're intrigued enough to keep watching. You don't understand at first how these stories are being paralleled, but once you understand their connection, it keeps you watching, doesn't it?
I didn't even need to, and I think maybe you'd said that to me, or maybe I just instinctively knew, stop trying to put these pieces. I think it's my message: you stop trying to put these pieces together. Just watch it and enjoy each time frame for what it is. And then when the connections kind of started to pique their interest, when I finished it, I just adored it. I thought, this is a movie, and I had no interest in seeing it.
We say this often, but pregnant with ideas is a good way of saying this film. And a lot of them a lot of the ideas work, some of them not so much. But
I thought the whole movie worked. I
liked it.
I woke up the next morning and I watched it again.
But I really hated that I found myself loving certain storylines and hating others.
The only one I didn't like was the 2012 one.
The
publisher who went to the Setoners' home.
They didn't. I know that they're not supposed to fit together, but they were too. I couldn't. I knew the vision. I know the book. I know how they all fit together. I've seen the chart on Wikipedia. There's a chart that shows you how they all fit together. I know all of that. I still don't think it worked. I don't think it was. I think it's a good movie in parts, but it's not as successful.
It's been a whole night where I haven't disagreed with you. So
did he?
No, I haven't disagreed with you at all tonight so far.
I'm sorry for those of you playing the drinking game.
I think here's the thing: when you try and look at it so logically. I mean, there's one scene where Halle Berry and Tom Hanks are sharing a joint, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, the waves aren't moving. And it's just, I thought, that's such a weird thing. I mean, they could afford to make the waves move, but they're not moving. I thought that was such a cool, dreamlike thing that I didn't really pick up. But watching it again, they're having this romantic time, and you don't need these waves crashing around, and the waves are just, the whole ocean, you can see it, and it's just not moving, and the sun's just right there. I mean, it was such a dream-like movie that when you try and hit okay, she's related to this character, and then she becomes that character. It's about how, and I'm not that spiritual, but it's about how things affect the future, how you can be a hero in one life, and you can be a coward, you can be a villain, it's not saying that's who you are, that's your essence of, I'm pulling way too much from it, but it really did affect me.
I think that's what they were trying to go for, though.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a spiritual thing. It was just,
and I think you as an audience member, as someone who's watched it, you specifically, Curtis, I think it's a film that if the filmmakers the only independent film to ever cost this much to independently finance, they said, we have an idea. It's not an easy idea to sell. It's not a film that most people are going to understand, but we feel collectively as this team, we want to make this idea. And I think you're the one. You're someone that they can say, I'm glad that you took that much away from it, and not even that much. You felt that there's more to this than just the surface.
Yeah,
than someone like Jordan, who just completely felt that needed to be.
I wanted it.
I don't think I had any expectations of it.
It didn't work for me.
I'm
sorry. And I'm not I am not the only person.
No, you're not the only person.
And a lot of critics.
But here's two things about it. The critics were divided because when I read it, it was like 100 or 40.
You love it or hate it.
I think that's true, and I completely agree with that. But I do think there is a camp of people who just did not that I'm saying this is you to your face. There is a camp of people who I think just didn't want it to work. You have to kind of let it take over. You can't just.
I didn't have any preconceived expectations.
No. I think there's a lot of people that avoided it because of that. They're like,
I didn't see it.
No, but probably wouldn't watch it now. It's that long and it's about this, and
it's a hard sell of a film. How do you capture that in a poster, in a trailer, to say you're about to step into a movie that goes over all these different timelines, these different characters, all played by the same people. It's a hard sell.
You're gonna watch Halle Berry bite her lip for 3.5 hours.
No, I thought she was I was so surprised by her. When I watched it the second time, I did go through the cast list because I wanted to know who they were playing, and her part in with the first storyline. She just has one shot, and I'm like, there she is.
Yeah, there's somewhere, like, I didn't notice until the end, when they show you, like, what parts they played, where I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that was...
And Hugh Grant as the Kona, oh my God, that freaked me out. And I loved the future storylines the best. I didn't think I would.
That future storyline was amazing.
Yeah. The one that was set in South Korea was my favorite.
Oh my God,
that was my favorite of all of the.
When she's being interrogated, and he goes, "I want you to tell me your version of the truth," and she goes, "The truth is singular. There are no versions."
See, and I felt like I wanted to see that film, like that story fully. And I know that's not the point.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but that's part of the beauty of this film is that you were able to had glimpses of these different storylines, and to me, nothing bogged me down. Nothing felt too long. It all felt just right.
It did.
If any of those stories, it's like taking a short film and saying we're going to make a feature-length film of this, and it just doesn't work. You appreciate it more in its small version of it. And for me, that the whole film, they're all small versions of it. Any of those can be taken and be made into a longer piece. I didn't need that. To me, I was satisfied for what they gave us.
Yeah, I can't get over it. I still can't. I don't know. I'm not saying it's like my favorite movie of all time, but
it surprised you.
It surprised me, and I think it was.
I have a lot of respect for it. I have respect for the Wachowskis and Tom
it's a challenge. It's a lot. It's a big undertaking.
Tom Tykwer. Yeah, I think
it was a big undertaking.
It has a lot to say about us and about people, and you rarely have a movie that's really saying something about something.
I mean, what you said that you rather see.
I'd rather watch that 20 times than have to sit through something that just doesn't even try. It just lays there limp. So no. So, but I was surprised and bowled over by it, and there was something else I thought about the movie.
What else did I watch
that we were talking about?
Apparently, I don't know if it's just Rob and I that watched Bad Grandpa.
I wanted to see it.
And you know what the best part about that movie? It had so much heart.
I don't think it's funny.
Did you see it?
No, it's like Jackass.
Oh yes.
I don't think they're funny.
Bert gave me shit about this.
I've seen all 3 Jackass movies.
I love the Jackass movies.
Really?
I don't know why it appeals to the 12-year-old boy.
Same here, or like John Kid in me.
John Cameron Mitchell says Jackass is the most homoerotic movie you'll ever see because it's
really
like I can't sleep with you, so I'm gonna punch your balls.
That's why was it part 2 or part 3 that had John Waters? Like John Waters, yeah, you guys are fucking gay. And he's in it with them.
When John Waters declares you gay, you are gay.
And they don't care. And I love that they don't give a shit. They're like, we're going to do all these things that make it. But there's nothing gay about it.
Wait, was it a film?
Which one?
Bad
sort
Grandpa.
of. No,
yeah.
it was
a sketch on the other Jackass
Why does it
movies.
have heart?
No.
No, it is a film.
It is, well, sort of. Like, it's the kind of like, did you stay after and you saw the credits where they were...
There's a storyline in the film.
There's a sort of storyline, but it's basically kind of like candid camera because they were playing these parts and mostly trying to get a reaction out of, people in certain situations, and then they show you at the end how
but then they show you
themselves.
They show you moments between the two characters in the film, the boy and Johnny Knoxville's grandpa. And the basic premise of the story is that you have his wife dies. He's so excited that his wife dies that he's finally free, but then he's saddled with his grandson. He's like, we're gonna get your grandson to your dad. So it's a road trip movie to get him to his dad. And his dad is just a shitty guy who wants him for the foster care money, or
for the I don't know, not the foster care money, but for money basically.
It's
for the child support or whatever.
It's amazing.
I want to see it.
Yeah, you got to take it for what it is already going in there. Like, it's a jackass movie.
It is a jackass movie.
There are some movies that you just enjoy on a very...
It's like those dates you're never going to have a second one. You're like, I might as well sleep with them.
Yeah, exactly.
I might as well put out.
Yeah. Valet parking for my dick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Validated. So we will definitely... This is our podcast. Sorry, I got lost there.
You were thinking about the valet.
So that's kind of some things we've seen real quickly. If everybody kind of wants to quickly talk about some things that...
Look at me.
Well, because I can't look at Rob on my mic. About things we're excited for 2014. Hopefully not the Lego movie.
I'm excited about the Lego movie. Everybody should watch Trailer Part 2 right now. It's amazing.
That's for children.
The Lego movie looks cute.
Along the same lines, I'm excited about Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac.
No,
children's movie.
2014 is going to be a good year, but 2015 is actually down to be one of the biggest epic years of cinema.
Okay, we're not there yet.
I know we're not there yet.
I'm thinking it's next year, isn't it? Maleficent is coming out?
Yeah, Maleficent's coming out next year.
You know I like my Maleficent.
I don't even know what's coming out in 2014. I've been so out of the loop.
You are the loop.
I've been living in Paris.
We have the remake of RoboCop, and this one that I'm interested in, but I don't know why. I'm interested in Vampire Academy. May I tell you why I'm interested in this?
What is wrong with you?
Because you're a lame-o?
No. You see who it's written and directed by.
No.
It's directed by Mark Waters, and it's written by Daniel Waters.
No.
No.
What have they proven? Heathers?
Oh, really?
He wrote Heathers. And Mark Waters directed.
So it's going to be a campy
Mean
mess.
Girls, Freaky. Oh, never mind. I just
Thank you.
filmography.
Yeah. Go ahead and stop yourself there.
But
your nipples got hard for no reason.
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
I am excited about that one.
I think we can all finally say that about a Wes Anderson movie. We're super excited.
It has Ray Fiennes. I'm just dying.
I love his movies.
I want to point out a little movie because I like to point out little movies. There's a movie called Belle that Rob and I saw the trailer for on 12 Years a Slave.
That trailer?
Watch your phone, boo.
I'm sorry. It was for dramatic effect.
That trailer was
terrible.
It was fantastic, but it should have stopped before it went boom, 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 and then it got big.
You like that trailer?
Yeah, I did.
Curtis...
What is it about? Who's directing it?
We need to talk about the way trailers are cut. That trailer tried through
every
really cliche.
It's a costume drama about a mixed race girl.
It threw every cliche into that trailer to make you want to see this movie. It was not appealing at all.
Well, I guess we'll see next year. Alrighty, bitches, put your phone. We're shutting it down. So it's been wonderful talking with you guys tonight. Hopefully you'll get to check out these films. We like to support our independent films. Daniel?
And if you're not checking out the films, check out the YouTube. The Twitters.
Oh, yeah.
The Instagram.
The Instagram.
The space. We've been Instagramming all night.
Just Rob's drunk ass.
We're tweeting.
I have not been drinking one bit tonight.
Just because Curtis finished off your sippy cup of wine.
We're on Facebook.
At Movies the Podcast.
At Movies the Podcast.
We're actually starting our own social media network now.
We are Zuckerberg, and Jordan's my Asian girlfriend.
What?
Alrighty.
Can I be what's his face?
No, nobody likes
Andrew Garfield.
Can I be what are the Wachowski brothers? Winklevoss twins?
Winklevoss twins.
You want an Army Hammer sandwich?
Don't I?
I would.
Anyways, so this is Curtis, and this is Movies the Podcast.
This is Jordan.
This is Brenda.
This is Rob.
And this is Dan.
See ya.
Bye.